I'm not a morning person.
Dedicated to being passionate about it.
Bodybuilders have become more lazy.
People have always thought I lift fake weights.
Iran and the United States.
You take responsibility for that. I was looking forward to talking to you. First of all, how was 2020 for you, man? I know Canada got shut down pretty hardcore, very strict over there.
Canada's still struggling. I don't know. Yeah, we're still in and out of lockdowns. They just lifted a little bit of it today, but I don't know. It's retarded. You see like 60,000 people at sporting events in the States, and then we're on lockdown. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy, but do you know if the border is shut down? Like, can people travel to Canada or out of Canada?
Yeah, sure. You can come to Canada, but you just have to follow the quarantine procedures, which is a pain in the ass, which keeps anybody from going, you know? It's the same with shows. Like, that's why the shows have been hard to plan and get to, because especially if you want to bring your family or friends, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks, so you got to really pick your shows carefully. That's why I haven't competed for a year.
That's true. Last one was 2019, right?
Yeah, it's going on 2 years.
Oh, you missed it.
I planned on taking 2020 off, which is good, but now 2021, you know, it's going to get to the end of the year before you know it.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, well, I mean, my competition life isn't just, it's not about money. It's not about really, it is about winning because I'm competitive, but more than anything, I compete to bring my friends and family with me. So,
you know, I saw a few interviews with you where you say basically you treat bodybuilding as a hobby more, and you're an entrepreneur. And I mean, you know, like, can you explain that in detail? Because when I hear that, or when somebody might hear that, they might say you're not taking it seriously. You know what I'm saying? Can you explain that, what you mean as a hobby, and like basically, do you mean like you don't expect it to support you financially?
Yeah, it doesn't support me financially. It definitely costs me more money out than it does in for bodybuilding. But with my businesses being so flexible, I can definitely give it 100% when I need to. You know, so when I'm all in, especially competing for a show, anybody around me knows I'm a ghost. They don't see me for 4 months. So, you know, in terms of giving it my all for a show, I'm definitely all in. But eat, sleep, breathe bodybuilding 365 days a year is not something I live by.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because, you know, you're admitting basically that sometimes bodybuilding, you can't rely on it. What do you recommend to a lot of the guys that they want to be pros, right? They want this to be their life. But should they always have a plan B, or at least a job or a business? Like, is that almost a requirement for bodybuilders?
I'm brutally honest with people. So especially when, you know, I think age has a big factor in it. You know, when I see guys that are in their 30s and they come to me and say, you know, I want to be a professional bodybuilder. It's like, how come? You know, you have to understand why first. Is it just because you want that on your belt, or because you think professional bodybuilders make a ton of money and a great living, and that's why you want to do it? Because if it is, I'm going to tell you to go the other way. Because it's a lot of dedication. It's not cheap, you know, food, supplements, traveling. It's time, especially, you know, time is, you can't buy time. So that's something that bodybuilding takes a lot of.
Is your other businesses, are they surrounded, like, around your bodybuilding career, meaning that are they part of the, like, fitness industry businesses, or is it something completely unrelated to fitness?
No, it's completely unrelated. Like, I do some property management. I have a dog food store, which I do raw dog food for as well.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've always done something. Like I had a roofing company for 5 years. I had a wildlife company where you basically extract nuisance animals from houses. So, really, really odd businesses, but profiting businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were all really good to me.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it takes to be a bodybuilder, right? And still just do bodybuilding, but at the same time, be successful financially. Like, what does it take? Is it just like you have to just succeed on social media and really make that into your blending with your
I
career?
think it's like any job. Any job, it's persistence. Hey, don't get me wrong. I think there's tons of money in the fitness industry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that aren't professional bodybuilders or aren't professional athletes in the industry that make six figures or more. It's I think it's like anything. We're living in a time where it's so easy to be a millionaire. Honestly, we're living in the easiest time to make money because of our social platforms and our reach to millions of people and subscribers, and people who can utilize that. Obviously, that's the way the fitness industry went. It's all gone social media, social networking. Before in the 80s and 90s, it was magazines and those kind of contracts that got you exposure. But now you can single-handedly do it yourself on your own following. So, hey, I think it's just not something I focused on because I always had other businesses and other ventures that made me comfortable before bodybuilding. So and it was a little bit, and I had that going before social media really blew up. Like I was 18, 19, 20 by the time I had 2 or 3 businesses on the go making money, and social media really wasn't crazy. It was Facebook first and then Twitter and everything. So yeah, now with the social outlets, I think definitely I don't think it's all about, you don't have to be a professional, you don't have to have that pro status in this industry anymore to really succeed financially, which is awesome. And, it depends what you bring to the table too, like knowledge, a lot of, if it's something different, a lot of people have a lot of great things to share. And even myself, I learn a lot of things from people that, don't have professional status. They don't need it in my mind. It's what you think is important. If it connects with you or your beliefs or